So if there's one thing the other side is really good at, it's making me look like I'm totally wrong, delusional, and have absolutely zero grasp on reality. Sitting here talking about Bernie Sanders forever and ever and ever makes me look like I haven't embraced Donald Trump as our president. And so the other side asked me to create this video letting you know why they have no interest in me embracing this reality. Number one, Donald Trump, the pursuit of ego. That is the reason why Mr. Trump pursued the presidency in the first place. Heart-focused work? Nope. Life purpose? Nope. I have the ability to do a read on his soul, and that read on his soul told me that he wanted power, and he wanted authority, wanted to go down in history, etc. His ego is what motivated him to run for president. Campaign promises. He actually ended up lying. He recently removed his campaign promises from his campaign website. What does that tell you? So he actually won the election under false pretenses. So while the American people might not hold him accountable for what his campaign promises were, they do. Sorry, Mr. Trump. The election. You won the election based on DNC fraud and Russian interference. So you are the result of a fraudulent election. So that again is another falsity. Power. You are guilty of abuse of power. You are using your power for personal gain and to hook up all your billionaire buddies and give them tax breaks while the rest of us don't get any. So, and just keep throwing people off of healthcare, you know, discriminating against people, misogyny, all that good stuff. Basically, the other side is saying you are abusing your position. So once you were granted that power, you abused it. Your platform is based on separation. This is not aligned with the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness is how the universe is set up. And we're all connected, whether we want to be or not. So this, again, is false. Separation is an illusion. Foreign affairs. This is a problem because you are a narcissist. So your ego takes over in foreign affairs. This pisses off other world leaders and puts our lives in danger. If you stay president, it does result in nuclear war, and we do end up getting blown up. Your supporters, unfortunately, your supporters are wasting their time. Why are you a waste of their time? Because when I do a read on your soul, I have the ability to see that your higher self, the part of your soul that lives on the other side, is not interested at all in being president. As a matter of fact, your higher self wants his old life back so badly that he is currently influencing you with negative emotion. Anger, hatred, sadness, anxiety, depression, you name it. You're going through all that stuff right now. So your supporter is putting time, energy, money towards you. You're a total waste of their time because they are supporting someone who doesn't want to be president. The reality, your entire reality is based on falsities. It's not real. This entire reality of you being president is based on falsities. Do you know what that means? It means it's not real. It means your power is illusion. Your power is totally an illusion. So what's the result? This entire reality crumbles right in front of our face. And when it does crumble, what does it go back to? The reason you decided to become president in the first place. Your ego. So your ego is not preserved. You end up leaving your position and you end up being embarrassed and your ego is not preserved. Starts with your ego, ends with your ego. This entire reality crumbles right in front of our face, and the divine wants people to pay attention to why this is happening. There's a beauty in the mess here, people. There's a lesson to be learned. Everything flying at Donald Trump right now is not an accident. It's not, wow, that guy's getting pummeled. That's not fair. No, it's the law of attraction. This is what happens when you align yourself with falsities. You become a magnet for the dark and you get it from all sides. That's what's happening to Donald Trump right now. Pure and simple, law of attraction. And the divine wants you to pay attention because this reality is fake. Him being president is fake because it's all based on falsities. It's not real. It's not real. So this crumbling is to let you know, this is what happens. This is what happens when you abuse your power. This is what happens when you separate people. This is what happens when you lie. This is what happens when you come from a place of ego. This is a house of cards. Do you know how weak this is? His entire administration, his entire life is weak because it's based on lies. And the divine is going to show you what happens when you base your entire reality on lies. And so he's asking you, is my medium delusional? Or is my medium actually more in touch with reality than everyone else? He's saying my medium is interested in truth. And that's the reality, is truth. Now, who's based in truth? Well, let's look at Bernie Sanders. Pursuit of heart-focused work, right? His heart is in the right place for pursuing presidency. Why? Because it's his life purpose. So I have the ability to do a read on his soul and see that he actually wants it for the right reasons. So he has pure intentions. He's not coming from a place of ego. He's coming from a place of heart, and he's passionate, right? So he's pursuing truth. While this guy's pursuing ego, he's pursuing truth, and you can see him out there, right? Now, his campaign promises, while they're based on lies, his campaign promises are based on truth. And you know what? He stands behind them. He is standing behind his word. So his campaign promises are still good. He's not deleting them from his website. He's saying, this is truth. This is what I want. Now, while Donald Trump was a result of a fraudulent election, Bernie Sanders was victim of fraudulent election because the DNC rigged the primaries against him. He was supposed to run against Donald Trump and win. He never did because the primaries were rigged for Hillary. So he's a victim of fraud in all this. So that's why he wasn't in the running. Now, Donald Trump, while he's abusing his power, Bernie Sanders uses it for good. He gives a voice to the little guy, and he stands up for people, right? The working class. He's trying to bring back the middle class since they're getting squeezed, right? His platform is based on separation. His platform is based on unity, which, again, is aligned with truth. We are all part of one big collective consciousness, and we're all connected. So his platform is aligned with universal truth. So he has the support of forces of nature and universal energies. He has the support on his side. Foreign affairs. While this guy is busy with his narcissism, this guy actually sets an example for other leaders. Other world leaders look at Bernie Sanders becoming America's sweetheart, and they're like, how do I get that admiration from my people? How do I elicit that response from people? So they study him. And Bernie Sanders is about peace and unity and listening to people, right? So his foreign affairs are awesome. Other world leaders are like, all right. Because he doesn't threaten them. He doesn't step on their toes. He doesn't make people puff out their chest, right? He listens to them. So he actually sets examples for them. Now, while Donald Trump supporters are wasting their time, these guys, these people that support Bernie Sanders, congratulations, your wish is going to be granted because he does become president, because he's predestined and the divine is going to make sure he does. We're going to have a second election because the divine is going to find a way for us to have a second election. For those of you that are worried about the U.S. Constitution, the big guy upstairs actually trumps that. He's actually asking you to use logic and reason with regards to a second election. If the first one was fraudulent, that warrants a second one that isn't fraudulent. For the American people. And then another thing, this reality, while it's based on falsities, this reality is based on truth, right? And so while this reality based on falsities is crumbling, this one is a powerhouse. So this one actually takes off like a rocket. So, House of Cards, powerhouse. This prevails. This reality prevails. What can I say? This reality, because it's so strong and based in truth, takes over this one. This one falls, well, this one rises. So, you've got like something crumbling, a house of cards crumbling, and then a rocket taking off over here. So, this actually is the reality, because it's all based in truth and unity, and the divine is not even acknowledging him as president. He's not even acknowledging him having any sort of power. He's saying it's an illusion. He's saying this is what's real. And so the divine is asking you to watch what happens to Donald and watch what happens to Bernie, because Bernie's going to rise up. And he's saying that it's also because of the law of attraction. Bernie's going to attract a lot of awesome stuff to himself. Now, the only issue with Mr. Sanders aligning himself with truth is he has to break out from the Democratic Party. his truth is also joining the people. So another part of President Sanders' truth is joining Nick Brana and the People's Party. So I'm really hoping that he does that, because it feels like the other side's going to shake the monkey out of the tree. He's going to make things a little bit uncomfortable for Mr. Sanders if he stays part of the Democratic Party. That's going to be on purpose. Sorry. But for a greater good, your free will decisions matter and they affect the masses. President Sanders, so yeah, you got to join the People's Party. You got to take the leap of faith and just trust that the divine's going to provide for you. I understand that you're getting more traction. I do understand you're becoming America's sweetheart, like I said you would. However, I give your attraction an F. I give your attraction the grade of an F, because I see what it could be if you join the People's Party. And it's so much more. It's like 10 times more. So I implore you to please seriously consider that. Because when I look at my crystal ball, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what the divine is asking you to do. So this is the dealio. The other side's letting you know that I'm not delusional. That I'm actually more in touch with reality than you think. And in the meantime, I guess sit back, watch the show. Enjoy your Coke, enjoy your popcorn, and watch what happens, because there are a lot of lessons to be learned here about truth, lies, and the law of attraction, and whether or not you're aligning yourself with dark or the light. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.